The storm had rolled in fast over Willow Creek, turning the sky into a bruised shade of purple as thunder shook the wooden walls of the old barn. Inside, rancher Colt Maddox stood frozen, his broad shoulders tense, his brown hat dripping rainwater, and his eyes locked on the woman trembling in front of him. Elara Hayes held the broken locket in her hand, an old silver piece. Colt had given her 3 years ago when they made their secret oath never to let pride, fear, or distance tear them apart again. But now the locket dangled in 2 pieces. It broke. "You failed the oath," she whispered, her voice cracking like the storm outside. Colt's jaw tightened. Everyone in town knew him as the man who never showed emotion. The one who could stare down a stampeding bull but couldn't look a woman in the eyes when feelings got involved. But Elara wasn't just any woman. She was the sheriff's daughter. The girl he'd loved since he was 17. The girl he lost because he was too scared to fight for her then. And the girl fate unexpectedly brought back 3 months ago. "Elara," Colt breathed, stepping closer. "Listen, no," she said, backing away. "You promised me. You swore the day you tied this around my neck that we wouldn't walk away from each other again. And now look at it." Lightning flashed, illuminating her tear-filled eyes. "It broke," she whispered. "Just like us." Colt felt that hit harder than any punch he'd ever taken. Elara had found out earlier that morning that Colt had signed a deal with the town council, one that would send him away to work on the border ranches for 6 months. She'd heard it from a stranger, not from him. And she assumed he was running again, leaving her behind. Just like 3 years ago. Colt swallowed hard, feeling that old guilt crawl up his throat. "I didn't sign that contract to leave you," he said. "I signed it to protect what's left of my land. I was going to tell you tonight." "Tonight?" she shot back. "After it all became official? After it was too late to say anything?" Colt didn't know what stung worse, the accusation or the truth behind it. The wind rattled the barn doors. The horses stirred restlessly in their stalls. But nothing shook Colt like seeing Elara take a step back from him, her hand curling protectively around the broken locket. "Elara," he said quietly, "you think I failed the oath. But that oath wasn't about a locket. It wasn't even about staying in one place. It was about never giving up on us." "Then why keep secrets?" she whispered. Colt sighed deep, painful, honest. "Because I was afraid." Elara blinked. Colt Maddox, the fearless rancher admitting fear, was like the sky turning green. "Afraid of what?" she asked. "Afraid that if I told you about the deal, you'd try to stop me. And I'd let you." His eyes softened, unguarded for the first time in years. "And if I stayed, I'd lose the ranch my father died trying to protect." Elara's lips parted, but no words came out. Colt stepped closer, slow and careful, like approaching a wild horse you didn't want to spook. "You didn't fail the oath." "And neither did I. Something broke, yeah, but not us." He held out his palm. "Give it to me." After a shaky moment, she placed the broken locket in his hand. Colt looked at it not with anger, but with determination. Then, to her shock, he closed his fist around it and said firmly, "This little piece of metal was never the oath. You were." Before she could react, Colt walked over to his workbench, grabbed a thin strip of leather, and returned. Rain pounded harder, echoing the tension between them. He threaded the leather through the pieces of the broken locket, now tied together in a rough, imperfect knot. "Colt, what are you doing?" "Showing you what love actually looks like," he said softly. "Not perfect, not easy, not unbreakable, but repairable." Elara's breath hitched. Colt stepped behind her gently and tied the leather around her neck. His fingers brushed her skin, sending warm shivers down her spine. "This knot," Colt murmured, "is stronger than the silver ever was. Just like we're stronger than the person I was 3 years ago." She turned around slowly, her hands rising to touch the mended locket. "Colt, I thought you were choosing the ranch over me." "I was choosing us," he said. "If I lose the ranch, I lose the future I'm trying to build with you." Her eyes softened. "Then why didn't you tell me that?" "Because I'm still learning how to be the man you deserve." Silence filled the barn, warm, thick, electric. Then Elara stepped forward and rested her forehead against his chest. Colt's arms wrapped around her instantly, tightly, as though he feared she might vanish if he blinked. "You didn't fail the oath," she whispered. "You scared me." "But you didn't fail." Colt held her closer. "I'm not going anywhere without you, Elara, not again. If I'm leaving for 6 months, you're coming with me. If you'll have me." She looked up at him, shocked. "Are you serious?" "Dead serious." Her laughter, small and relieved, broke through the tension like sunshine breaking through clouds. "I'll go," she said. "Just don't hide things from me anymore." "I won't," he promised. "Not ever." And when he kissed her slow, deep, and full of every word he couldn't say, the storm outside finally began to calm. Because inside that barn, two hearts had finally repaired what truly mattered. And the whole town? They'd be talking about Colt Maddox's shocking decision for years.